I play Brendan Conlon, who is, I guess he's, late 30s, mid to late 30s guy who has two children and a lovely wife and, a family, but they're struggling financially. He's an ex-fighter, and but he's now settled into this world where he no longer fights. And he's a physics teacher at a high school. And life is pretty normal, and he and his wife are kind of taking on extra jobs to supplement their life. And kind of, Brendan is a guy who is trying to keep his head above water, and he's kind of treading water for himself and his entire family. One of the things I love about Brendan was he reminds me of all those people in the world who kind of had an aspiration. And for various reasons, they never really fulfilled that aspiration. He had an idea of himself as a fighter, and he was on his way to doing that. He was never quite good enough. He really didn't have the mental capacity to kind of achieve the heights. He had a wife who told him that she would prefer him not to end up in the back of an ambulance. And so, for all of these reasons, he never really kind of saw what it was like on the road to where he wanted to go. And the film itself, by other circumstances, kind of, his life leads him back. And he catches a glimpse of that aspiration again. In the story, Brendan is kind of running around behind his wife's back. And he's not having an affair, but he's having an affair with his old sport, which is fighting, in order to earn some extra cash. And when she finds out what she's doing, that causes a lot of conflict. And they hit a crisis point when Brendan loses his job. There's a decision like, what do we do from here? And, the only real facility that Brendan has apart from teaching is his fist. And together, although she's not that enthusiastic about it, they agree that he needs to keep fighting. Brendan's wife is Tess, who's played by the wonderful Jennifer Morrison, and they have a great relationship. I always think that they're the kind of couple that you want them to succeed. You want their family to succeed, and you want everything that they want to happen, And they're very relatable, I think, in the kind of modern fabric of things that people are experiencing now in America and over the last few years of financial struggles. And they're a couple who are really just trying to stay afloat. When the film first starts, Brendan, I don't think, really knows what his relationship with Tommy is. In fact, there's a really big question mark hanging over what is Tommy now, and what's become of him, who is he, and what experiences has he had, because these guys haven't seen each other for like 15 years. Tommy left when he was, roughly 14, and Brendan was 16. He never even really got to say goodbye. Tommy was basically shipping his mother out in the middle of the night to avoid the abusive father, Paddy, played by Nick. And ever since that night, these guys haven't seen each other. He knows loose information. Brendan has only heard bits and pieces about what Tommy's been up to. So Tommy arriving back in town is kind of a real jolt for Brendan.